I don't know what that says. I'm not making a comment. I'm just saying.
Right.
But yeah, you're right about that. I mean, I remember reading your tales and thinking, what the fuck's with this guy? I'm a medieval guy,
Yeah, good lord.
But
Yep.
no, it was incredible, and I'm still totally moved by that lyric to this day. Especially the wait. I'm gonna do it right because I don't want to insult your lyric, but
That's okay.
I splashed my face to wake my sleep. I just thought it was a beautiful lyric that you couldn't have possibly written. Did you steal that from someone?
Yeah, I don't know. I probably did. I'm sure.
Elias' Sunhill.
Yeah,
it's
something.
in
Yeah.
there somewhere.
Before Elias on Hill. Now that's amazing.
But I remember really thinking how mature and deep and all this stuff that I wish I could write. I mean, I emulated my early stuff after you. There's no doubt about that. Except for the rock stuff, because we didn't really do that. You and I didn't do that. We did the Rushish kind of stuff.
Right.
And
still based on acoustic guitar and singing.
Yeah. I mean, Revelation was written. The whole thing was written.
Right.
With you and me staring at each other. You with an acoustic guitar and me with a cigarette or something. Right. And that was about it.
And your lyrics, because you had written that out actually under the inspiration of Tales, if I can remember right.
Absolutely.
And you said, I got this big idea and la-di-da-di-da, and we started writing. We would skip school actually to do that. And in the attic where your brother, Chris lived. And
he had his little bong.
Right,
and,
which we never smoked.
No, we just looked at it.
We never fucking did that.
We wrote music instead. So
that's true.
How fucked up is that?
Our drug years came much later.
That's right. Oh. Yeah, when we were old enough to know better.
Right. But it was funny because we were, going back as we're just kind of blaring through the memories, we were just kind of funny because we would skip school and we would go to the library.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of nonsense is that?
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of so weird. Like, we skip school and then we go where there's a bunch of shit.
No. We went to the library because we knew if we went back to my house, my brother would show up.
Oh, yes. And many times have he had. And we were like Hogan's Heroes up in the attic. Like, shh.
Keep quiet.
Yeah, right. Oh.
Scott's coming home for lunch.
Oh, my God.
And he always knew I was there. He was like Kreskin.
Yeah, he was
amazing. I was
there.
I don't know how
just much fatter. That's all. Yeah.
But all those moments up in the attic writing that stuff.
Definitely.
I just remember, it's funny. When you think about the creative process now and how lonely it is, because we don't write that often together anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, this whole block in your head of all this experience and age and everything else. In those days, it was, you could feel the moment at the moment. And I just remember writing Revelation with you and really, really feeling it as we were doing it. I can picture it still in my head.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
I mean, almost to the point of tears, because for me it was so new to see my writing come out in this beautiful collaboration for the first time, almost ever, with you was incredible. I mean, it was like just discovering a new world. And I think Revelation was where we really started to discover our chemistry together, if I'm not mistaken. Certainly. Because we had a long piece to work on.
Right. Like
Shallow Thought and Tales were like, that was your song and my song.
Right.
But this was a collaborative thing where it was like my lyric, your music.
Right.
And even I had a couple of musical ideas. I remember I think maybe it was been the dun 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 dun. It might have been one of my ideas. There wasn't much. Most of it was yours. But I remember thinking, at least I was helping to direct where it was going. I remember that. It was like, I want something that kind of ascends.
Right.
And you would like, all right, what about this? And that's such an incredible, raw, visceral, balls to the wall, face to face, as the Beatles used to say, nose to nose, collaborative effort. And we haven't done that in ages because you have all the technology now and you can, we'll do, like we're doing it now. I give them a 16-track master, you take it and you go on with it and you do something with it and give it back to me.
Right.
So as much as that's great because we have all this stuff that we can do, it's very cold. And it doesn't allow us to actually smile at each other when we know something's right.
Right.
Or frown in the opposite.
Yeah.
So I do miss that, and I remember that specifically in my head in my brother's room.
Definitely. And we just felt that we were onto something that nobody else was on. And it's just such a weird feeling to sort of have that pride in yourself.
Yeah.
And when you could walk down what was our social world was the school halls and stuff. Just thinking that you knew something a little bit more than someone else did.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, we were doing what our heroes have done, and it was just amazing to emulate that. And back then, I think we were maybe a little bit more humble that, oh, we can never be this and that. But when you look back and listen to those fucking songs, like Tales, you're like, wow, that's like good. I mean, that could be, Yes could have done that, or somebody else could have, whatever, could have done that. Yeah. And they would have thought it was great. Now, why isn't it great with us? Because we did it, you know. But, yeah.
Yeah, especially if you know that what you do, that so much like Yes's material of the great symphonic 40-minute pieces started with John Anderson, who sucks at guitar playing, sitting there with these open, airy chords.
Right.
And then it was built on that. So that's still the structure. That's still the song. That's still the melody.
Right.
And this, floating jerk-off came up with this stuff just with him and his guitar.
Right.
And then Steve corrupted it. And, and then from there it goes.
Right.
But that we never thought of in those days. Because we didn't know that their collaborative process. We thought that 5 guys that get together and they create this incredible genius.
Right.
You never thought it started with one guy who really sucked at technically at what he was doing, but had an inspiration.
Had the vision as well, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Fascinating.
And that's really what all songwriters, and the funny thing about them was they were just doing what the Beatles were doing. Mm-hmm. That sort of songwriting, acoustic guitar, singing, and melody, and here we go, and just arrange it as it goes along. And that's funny how their influences were as well. So, we weren't too off.
No, that's right.